need your help.
Of course, how can I help you?
I'm looking for a lesson idea about the Japanese-American internment experience in the United States during the Second World War II.
What is the age group of the students you're creating this lesson for?
Oh, for high school age.
Let's search for lesson plans and materials using OER Commons.
OER Commons? What is that?
Open educational resources are teaching and learning materials that you can freely use and reuse without charge. Open educational resources allows teachers to adapt, share, and implement materials with limited or unrestricted licensing rights. A popular open educational resource I'm going to show is OER Commons. OER Commons is a website created to help educators, students, and lifelong learners find open educational resources that are already posted somewhere on the internet. OER Commons provides a single point of access where users can browse, search, evaluate, and discuss over 40,000 high-quality resources, including multimedia learning tools, lesson plans, professional literature, and more. It's also important to know that open education resources come with various conditions of use. When you see the icon "No strings attached" with a resource, it means that there are no restrictions on remixing, sharing, or making derivative works, as long as author credit is given. When you see the remix and share icon, it means you can remix, redistribute, make derivatives of a resource, but under some restrictions. The share-only icon means you cannot remix or make derivative works, but you can still share it. Lastly, the read the fine print means the resource is copyrighted and available under fair use and the TEACH Act for U.S.-based educators. Okay, now let's get back to our search. Here we are at the OER Commons homepage. To find lesson materials on the Japanese-American internment experience during World War II, let's type in the keywords Japanese-American internment in the main search box. Which brings us to the search results page. Here we have a total of 29 results. But what's unique about OER Commons is that it allows us to refine or narrow our search results. Let's take a closer look at how we can do this. OER Commons gives us the option to narrow our search results by subject area, grade level, material type, media format, conditions of use, and content source. Let's start with subject area. Let's say we're only concerned with lesson materials in the humanities and social sciences. We'll leave those checked and uncheck the rest. Next, let's narrow by grade level. Since our patron is teaching high school students, let's uncheck any results that are strictly for primary grade levels. But we want to make sure we keep secondary checked. I also suggest checking post-secondary as some results overlap in grade levels. Then we can also narrow by material type. If you only want to find materials that are readings, games, or textbooks, you have the option of checking only those. In our case, let's leave them all checked. And you can also select results by media format, such as audio, graphics, video, etc. Then we can narrow by conditions of use, which we've covered in detail before. Let's keep all these checked too. Finally, you can refine your search by content source. This means by contributor. Open author resources are lesson materials created by registered OER Common users who have created lesson materials for their own use and want to share it with others on the website. Content provider resource means the sources comes from the museum, library, or educational institution. Okay, so we finished refining our results, which got us down to 28 results from 29. Each result tells you which subject and grade levels they cover and which online collections they come from. However, if you'd like to have a better idea of what content each result covers, click on the Complete Item Description link under the title heading. This will provide an abstract of the information the lesson material covers. Also, each result tells you its condition of use. Here, we see this resource is labeled Read the Fine Print, which means it is copyrighted and for fair use. Under Condition of Use is the Action menu. Here you can select to save, tag, or align the item. Let's say you want to save the item for future reference. To do so, click on Save this item. A pop-up window will prompt you to sign in with your registered OER Commons username or email address. The item will be saved in My OER in the My Items tab, which you can retrieve at any time. Let's say we're interested in this third result, titled Japanese American Internment. For this particular result, we see that it has been evaluated by other registered OER Commons users. Evaluations may be helpful in determining the relevance and Common Core standard alignment of an item. To see the item's full description, click on the result title. This brings us to a web page that contains the abstract, and for this particular result, the evaluation rubric with user ratings of the item's instructional quality. Below that is the Common Core standard the item meets, in this case for English Language Arts and Literacy. To get to the original website of the resource, in this case it's the Calisphere California Digital Library, click on View Resource. Once there, you may find more instructional materials, multimedia sources, Common Core standards, assessments, and other information. So that's OER Commons in a nutshell. What do you want to search for today? For more information about OER Commons and other educational resources, ask a librarian.